What's up, everybody? How you doing? It's February 13th, Tuesday, about 10:15, and welcome to the podcast. What's Good Denver is a weekly celebration of culture and discovery and fun stuff to do in Denver for kids, couples, singles, and old-timers. I'm Ryan Estes, today with Tom Bitcoin Maxi Donahue. It's on the way back up, man.
It is up. It's over 50,000.
I just checked. It was back down to 48. But what do you think? You think this is bull rush again?
I think it's getting to be that time, yeah. A lot of big key things have happened. You know, you got the Bitcoin ETF approved by the SEC. You got a Bitcoin halving coming up, which historically leads to massive growth. So not financial advice, but we are Bitcoin maxis over here.
No doubt. Just a couple of weeks ago when there was these indications, and I just looked at Tom. I was like, Tom, should I be buying all the Bitcoin I possibly can? Again, he's like, I'm not a financial advisor, but probably. Pretty exciting.
It's just a funny thing that everyone in the community says, because you have to put that on like any videos or like anything you say about a product like that. That could be considered financial advice. Otherwise, if somebody goes and buys it and loses all their money, they could pretty much sue you.
Totally.
If you don't say that.
Well, and again, I mean, that's also a positive development because, 10 years ago, the financial institutions wouldn't have cared what you said about Bitcoin. They're like, oh, get that trash out of here. And now they're all on board. Pretty amazing. Oh, and we're also joined by the Joe Burrow of podcasting, Troy Higgins. What's up, Troy?
What's up, guys? Joe Burrow. I love it.
You know why?
Why is that?
Because he's the only savior we've got against Patrick Mahomes now.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow's the only guy that can beat him in the postseason.
We need him to get healthy.
I know.
We need him to be healthy. He's the only guy. He's the only reason Mahomes hasn't been to 5 Super Bowls in a row.
I know. It's only Joe Burrow. And he had an Achilles, right? Was he one of those guys that had Achilles? What happened to him?
I can't remember. He got hurt, I think, in training camp. Oh, it was his calf.
Yeah.
And it just kind of nagged him all year. And the receiving core was in and out of the lineup with health issues. And they kind of it was a lost season from the beginning. So hopefully they bounce back next year.
No doubt. Watching the Super Bowl play out, and I'd love to hear what you guys did for the Super Bowl, but there was just, everybody knew what was happening. It's like, what? I don't even know what to say. I mean, Kyle Shanahan, I tip my hat to the San Francisco 49ers, and I'm not a big Winers fan, but I kind of fell in love with that team. A lot of Denver connections, obviously, to that team. And, they played really strong. It's just like, okay, I get it. You're going to get the ball and kick a field goal in overtime, but he's going to score a touchdown. You know it. Everybody knows it.
He's going to score.
I actually, when I was watching that drive, I wasn't fully aware of the rules. I don't know if you heard about that, but there was new overtime rules that have been in place, I think, since I don't want to give out a date. It's very recently. And I didn't know that the Chiefs actually would get the ball back if they scored a touchdown there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So if the Niners...
Oh, go ahead,
Yeah,
sorry.
they each get 2 possessions. I didn't know that it would roll over into the second OT quarter, too. If the Chiefs didn't have to score with time expiring, they get a full drive, it would have went into another quarter.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, that's what they did. Well, they said... The refs said it right there. They were like, treat this as a new game, essentially. And going into the second quarter, you can do that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that makes sense because they didn't seem rushed at all. The Chiefs I'm talking about with the clock kind of running out. Okay, I didn't know that part. I did know that whoever gets the ball, they score a touchdown. The other team has opportunity to score a touchdown. If they don't score, then they lose. But if they do, then we keep going. But then it's next point wins, I believe, is the rule, right?
Yeah.
So both sides score touchdowns, and then the next team gets the ball, kicks a field goal, it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does seem like a fair way to do it, actually. I kind of like that.
That's interesting. I mean, yeah, it would suck for the receiving team because if you both scored a touchdown and then the next team just scored a field goal from 50 yards out.
You have no chance. Yeah,
That would suck.
then the coin toss becomes like a major factor, and I suppose it always has been. But I did like how the Chiefs deferred on the opening coin toss when they won it. That's always a gangster move. I saw somebody else say that like maybe they should do overtime rules is, first OT, you just start kicking field goals. You line up both special teams on both sides of the ball, and you start at 25, and you just start going back 5 yards. Whoever misses first.
That would be
Just
wild.
keep going back and
That would
back.
be crazy. That would be insane.
No, well, I was even feeling for the Chiefs kicker when he had to hit the field goal to push it to overtime. Also, I can't believe that they blocked that extra point.
I
That's the
know.
only reason that it was even
that was
possible. Otherwise,
One
they
of
would
the-
have had to go for a touchdown.
One of the interesting philosophies I was reading about for the overtime rules is like, so the 49ers, they get the opening possession overtime. They go down and they score, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. It's very hard to stop a team on defense if they're getting every play is 4 down territory. Like second down, it changes how you call the play because okay, I have 2 more plays after that or 3 more plays after this. So that was an interesting take too. And with Mahomes, it's like everyone just knows.
So true. And if you have to score a touchdown, the game planning is totally different. You can't sit back and like the nickelback formation. You can't just wait. I don't know. Yeah, it's wild. I mean, the Super Bowl first half was like exceptionally boring, but it was like a very kick-centered game. I mean, 2 record kick field goals. You got a blocked PAT. You've got like how many punts? Like 6 punts, and there was a fumble on one of the punts. I mean, a very special team-oriented game. I don't know. It was a fun game to watch.
It was good.
I loved it. It was like this whole second half was like it felt like every snap was just so tense. There was like the stakes higher than ever.
Second half for sure. The first half was a little slow, but
Yeah, totally.
especially for betting men who are picking really dumb things to bet on. Well, I just had like 9 free dollars in my account, so I just made like a bunch of $2 free bets,
Nice.
but none of them hit. So
Dang. You got that
'cause of the
$9.
slow first half.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. I thought Usher did a great job. Talking about slow first half, Usher kind of came out slow. Then,
He came out pretty slow. I was
Yeah.
like, this is not looking good. But Alicia Keys brought him back.
yeah,
And then the rest was good.
she turned it up, and then turned down for what? I mean, come on. That was a great show. It was nice to see the roller skates. It was also nice to see Usher being super swole. He's yoked.
Yeah, what is he? How old is he?
He's got to be 40.
I think he's older than that.
Yeah.
Very sweaty and jacked. Sweaty and jacked. are the 2 words.
Sweaty and jacked.
Sweaty
yes.
and Jack. He looked good. Travis Kelce, I don't care if he did win the Super Bowl. Terrible look all night long from, yelling and screaming, bumping the coach. Almost knocked Andy Reid over.
Yeah, why did he bump him?
How could you do that to Uncle Andy?
What of the ball? But yeah, that was a bit much.
That was bad. His weird Viva Las Vegas chant at the end, that was weird. He was hepped up. I don't know what pills he took the Rhino pills from the gas station, I think, because that dude's energy was like way too aggressive and over the top. But he had a good game.
Crazy.
What are you gonna do?
Well, he was getting a little hyped up about being like alpha male of the world with the world's richest, probably most desired woman.
Yeah,
And winning the most desired competition.
he was definitely feeling himself.
He was definitely amped up.
Did say that he's returning next year to go for the 3-peat along with Andy Reid. So we got at least 1 more year
Ugh.
of enduring this again.
Yeah. Yeah. What do we call it? I mean, Bill Burr made a great point that, like, Tony Romo was talking about dynasty because he's saying, like, oh, they got 3 championships in 5 years. It's like, well, they weren't calling the Patriots a dynasty when they got 3 and 4 years. It's not a dynasty. Three-peat, that's a dynasty. Not back-to-back, three-peat. But now they're trying to change the rules because obviously, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is so dang marketable. I mean, I get it, but still, this is not a dynasty. You got a three-peat to dynasty. And if they do, oh, did we lose Zoom?
You're still live.
We're good?
You're good. But
Okay, cool.
yeah, your Zoom fell out. That's okay, though.
We lost Zoom for a second. Sorry about that, Troy. But yeah, I mean, no dynasty until three-peat. That's all I'm going to say. I am going to say also, I'm scared. I mean, the Chiefs were not that good of a football team this year, honestly. Definitely not. It's probably the worst football team that Patrick Mahomes has fielded, and like, no one can stop him. No one can. He's just running the option on it in the Super Bowl, and they can't do anything. It's just, dang, man.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? And just to add insult to injury, like, why has it got to be John Elway handing the Lombardi trophy? Dude.
I think that he was selected to do that like much prior to even knowing the Chiefs were going to be in the Super Bowl. But it is funny how that panned out.
Oh, man. I could see the conflicted look on the man's face. It's just like, you know, and it kind of makes sense because Patrick Mahomes is very much a John Elway kind of football player. You know, very mobile, big and strong guy, you know, great accuracy, cannon, you know, but dang, man. Oh, that's just when I turned off the TV. It was like, oh, well, that's a wrap.
Yeah, this Chiefs team's gonna be going for a long time.
I know. Well, God bless the
done
NFL. That's all I got to say. It was a heck of a season. A lot of fun. I went back and listened to our hot takes with our NFL correspondent Ozzo Estes, and boy, we made some really off predictions, all of us. So.
Mine was awful. Mine was embarrassing.
Man, I don't remember. Did anyone get anything good in there?
No.
It was extremely bad.
We were all way off. I mean, I think Ozzo had Joe Burrow doing big things. He flaked out. We talked a lot about Aaron Rodgers. He had 4 minutes in the game, and of course the Justin Fields take. Boy, do you think he's got a job next year?
There's a reason I'm not a professional sports. They're gonna trade him.
I see. No, but I appreciate that. You got to throw some Hail Marys preseason because you never know, man. You can't if you show up with your preseason analysis and you're like, I feel like the Kansas City Chiefs are going to have a deep run into the postseason. It's like, shut up, man. Why you got to say that?
Yeah.
Do you guys know who Pete Schrager is? He's he's like the Fox Sports analyst guy. He's picked the correct Super Bowl winner the last 6 years. He's picked the correct Super Bowl winner.
Wow.
And a couple of times he picked the two teams that were going to be playing the Super Bowl, and he picks before the season starts.
Crazy.
Dang.
Yeah, he's like crazy. His streak is alive. So see how long that goes.
The NFL whisperer.
You gotta
Yeah,
bat with
it does
them.
have inside connection. So people are there's a conspiracy with the script and that whole thing.
Nice. The script. I love that. Dude, actually, Biden had a pretty funny tweet for those script people. NFL script.
Posted like the laser eyes.
Yeah, Dark Brandon. He's like, what is this, like all according to plan or something?
Yeah.
It's funny. Nice. Well, all right. Go Nuggets, man. Whatever. We'll see you for training camp, NFL. All right. To follow the show, go to kitcaster.com/Denver and subscribe to YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. Our music is brought by Troy Higgins. Tom, let's dive into some Denver events, buddy. What do you got on point for Valentine's Day week? So we've got Valentine's Day tomorrow, this weekend. I suppose, does that count as Valentine's Day weekend, or was this previous weekend? I don't know.
I think you count last weekend. I don't know. You get both because it's on Wednesday, so
yeah,
it's both Valentine's Day weekends.
Totally.
I celebrated last weekend. Also got a little dinner planned on Wednesday. Sushi Den.
Nice.
We got a nice gift card for there, so gonna use it up. I've never been there, by the way. I'm excited for it, so gonna get some good sushi. Also later on, we're gonna talk about date spots in Denver.
Oh, that's right. That's our feature. Top
That's the
3
feature.
date spots.
Yes, date
Yeah.
spots. I got a couple different things going. Food is always a good one. I think sushi is a good pick because you got to be careful with the type of food that you pick for your first date. Is it first date or is it just date spots?
Man, I don't know anything about first dates.
We'll say first. We'll say first dates or date spots, whatever it is.
We could also share first dates with our significant others.
Yeah, I'll name my spot for that
Cool.
in the thing. So for this week though, this afternoon, normal events. These are not any sort of Valentine's focused events. We got Sunday, Milepost 0, plants and paints and cocktails.
Nice.
So you can go over to Milepost 0 and they're going to be painting your terracotta pots. You get terracotta pot, choice of succulent. Hold on. Choice of succulent, paint supplies, and a complimentary cocktail is all included with your admission. That's going to be $30.
Sounds
do
like
that.
a blast.
Yes. Hold on. I'm trying to get people the
You
thing
paint
here.
the pot.
You're seeing behind the scenes.
You paint the pot. Yeah.
You do paint the pot. Yes.
It's a crafty, drinky type thing.
Sounds like a good time to me.
I'm saying. I mean, who doesn't like a well terracotta succulent?
Here we go. Now everyone can see. Look at that. You got a pot to paint, and you get to choose your succulent and your free drink. So check it out. That's
The
going to be
paint-
Sunday. What's up, Troy?
Paint provided.
Paint is
You have to
provided.
bring- is-
Yes,
Oh, it is. Okay.
absolutely. So you get all your paint supplies, you get your pot, you get your succulent, and your cocktail.
Nice.
So that's going to be Sunday at noon. I thought that was a cool one. Next one. Does anyone want to wager a guess without looking at the sheet if you already saw it? We have yoga plus what?
Yeah, what is it?
What is it going to be?
I'm gonna say something.
What was that, Troy? It's something what?
Puppies.
Yeah.
Puppies? Nope, not this time.
Terracotta painting plus yoga?
No. It's
Goats?
going to be yoga plus productivity.
Oh, finally.
Finally.
Work on your laptop. While
You
you're
got to
doing-
check email and downward facing dog.
Yes, absolutely. Hold on. This thing is giving me trouble. There we go. Yoga plus productivity. So this weekend, Sunday at 1 p.m., $20, which is a decent price for a yoga class anyway. $20.
Yeah, that's a good
It's
price.
not so bad. It's a 45-minute yoga session. But first, get 45 minutes of deep work.
45 minutes.
45 minutes deep work session. Use on a creative project, side hustle, or just catch up on emails. Everyone's going to be chilling in the studio, deep working. And this is at the process, which I think I've talked about one of their events before, but it's like a co-working space where you can focus on your side hustles or whatever you want to do. It's like an individual co-working area. And then after that, 45-minute yoga session led by Kayla Kaufman.
I don't know, man, about this one.
So do your
on
deep
Sunday?
work. It's on Sunday. You get 45 minutes of deep work and then 45 minutes of yoga.
Deep work on a Sunday.
Couple Zoom calls.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know if
Off a
that's
couple proposals.
I don't know if that's zen enough for the yoga vibe. If you can't be taking calls.
I mean,
Maybe
45
can.
minutes of deep work plus 45 minutes yoga. 90 minutes of yoga just sounds way better than that on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah. I appreciate the aspiration with the innovation in the yoga class. I do appreciate that.
yeah.
But yeah, this I don't know. I
Listen,
don't know.
how
Be
do you
sick.
know if your yoga plus is gonna catch on if you don't try it?
You got to put it out there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So shout out to you, Kayla. I mean, she's probably involved with the process space, and they're focused on deep work and co-working. So
Yeah.
Get your deep work before your yoga. You can't yoga if you haven't earned it.
That's a good point.
You need to get your Sunday work and chores done first.
This is true.
Get your productivity going, get yourself ready for the week, and then you get your yoga.
I like it. I mean, you really can't be namaste unless you get a couple of those emails out of your inbox.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How are you supposed to like focus on your breathing when you know you got to respond?
Exactly. I might save like any spicy emails I have for this.
Just one 45-minute set. Like, what can I get done in 45 minutes right before yoga?
I know, but 45 minutes can only be, it can be 40 emails or it can be
Half.
3.5 emails.
So is it like your workstation is on your yoga mat, or is it like there's desks? Or
I think that the process place is a co-working space.
Yeah.
So you can probably go around to any of the spots. It does say bring your own mat and
Okay.
And a laptop.
BYOLT.
Got it. Okay.
Bring whatever you'll use to work. So anyway, that's the yoga plus of this
Love it.
week.
Love it. That's a new one.
I thought it was whenever I see a new one, I gotta.
Oh yeah, we got to have Yoga Plus. That's a good one. I painting terracotta pots plus yoga, that is gold.
That would
They
be cool.
could make that happen for sure.
Yeah, you can combine it with Twister, where you can only paint red if you have a hand on red, or you can only paint blue if you got
That would be
foot on
sweet.
blue.
Yeah. One-handed.
Work after.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So last thing I got here, a beer pairing dinner. This is cool. I mean, I like drink pairings and stuff.
Yeah.
It's usually cocktails, but I'm interested in this one. It's being run by Thistle and Mint, but it's being run at the Fiction Beer Co. I assume that you're going to be having all beers by the Fiction Beer Company. And this Thistle and Mint, like the photo they have here, I mean, everyone can see it on the thing. It looks like it's going to be some gourmet food. I
That
don't know.
looks good.
It's looking like some good stuff. You know, whenever the portions look too small, but the food looks really good, that makes me feel like it's going to be gourmet. That's going to be Sunday at 5 p.m.
This is get behind.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it really does look like good food just from this one photo that I'm seeing. But Sunday, wait, why does this say Sunday, September 24th? Hold on. I think they haven't updated their event description here. So,
Dude, they got a rabbit dish.
really,
Yeah. What kind of beer would be good with rabbit?
disregard this date right here. That was probably their previous one. It's going to be Sunday, February 18th at 5 p.m. So this Sunday, 5 p.m., 4 Colorado grown courses. Oh, so Colorado grown ingredients paired with 4 Colorado craft beers. $85.
Dude, this looks duck confit donut with cherry mustard.
Yeah, look at
Yeah,
this.
this looks.
That sounds good.
Never even had rabbit, but this looks good.
I know.
Stuffed with ginger and lemongrass.
What is pemmican? Pemmican.
Pemmican?
Pemmican. It's the first course on the menu here.
I think that's a
Very top.
aquatic bird.
Really? Winter squash, green chili, mayo. Yeah, I mean, this is looking pretty interesting. And you got interesting foods here as well. The duck confit donut with cherry mustard. I mean, that sounds fire. Nico mushrooms fondue with sourdough. Madam Psychosis. I can't even read. This is looking so great. It's got the rabbit dish, malted blonde, cherries and sage ice cream. I mean, this looks fancy.
Dude, it looks dude, okay, pemmican is it's kind of like a beef jerky. It's dried meat, traditionally bison, pounded into coarse powder and mixed with an equal amount of melted fat and occasionally Saskatoon berries, cranberries, or even cherries, currants, chokeberries. So it's like meat, fat, and berries. That's what's up.
Wow. And each one's going to be paired with a nice craft brew. I mean, you've got 4 courses, 4 beers. You're going to be feeling nice after that.
Dude.
Yeah, check this. This doesn't even look like a bad price either for something like this. An $85,
Yeah.
fully curated menu. I don't know. Check this one out. It looks good. Sunday at 5 p.m.
Dude,
looks like they still got ample tickets available. I might hit this one.
I know, man. I like never really get excited about menus these days, but like the pemmican, winter squash, green chili mayo, and spiced chips. Who is this chef?
Yeah, who's doing this?
Dude.
I don't know what thistle and mint is, but that's who's running it.
It's Chef Jared.
Chef Jared.
Bro, what's your last name?
So
Just shout out.
yeah, that's what's going on. That one does actually sound like it could be hit up this weekend.
Big time.
Just for an interesting meal.
Jared Kendall, he's the owner.
Jared Kendall.
Dang.
Nice. Oh, he's the owner of Thistle Mint. Dude, shout to him. I'm gonna check this out. I'm like really interested in pemmican because that makes sense. That's like when you're watching the Old West movie and they reach into their saddlebags and they have that little wafer. That's what that is. Berries, bison, and fat.
Absolutely.
It sounds like the best beef jerky of all time.
Sounds fire.
Fire.
With an ice cold pint to wash it down.
No doubt. Green chili mayo? Okay. All right. I like that one. Good events, Tom. All right, I'll rip through mine really quick. I've got a Valentine's Day event for today at 5 p.m. at the Colorado Sake Company. It is sake and bonbon pairing. Because I saw there was a beer and cheese pairing, which sounded great to me, but also felt very gastro. You know what I'm saying? And like on Valentine's Day, you're trying to make a good impression. You're trying to make sparks fly. Yeah. Hopefully, some a little later, you have a good time with your partner.
Yeah.
You don't want too much gastro.
Yeah.
Happening.
That's why the food choice on a first date is very important. You got to make sure we're not getting like, you don't want to go Mexican.
Right.
You don't want to do anything
Chinese, probably not.
Don't go melting pot. Don't get the fondue and all the dairy and the melted chocolate and all that.
Ribs.
No ribs.
No ribs.
No ribs. No pizza. No spaghetti. I mean, you kind of really got to walk a tightrope if we're talking about like a first date.
Yeah. Go like classic American. Sushi can be safe.
Sushi's
safe.
Sake and chocolate seems safe because that's also making the assumption. Let's say that this is a first date or you have intentions for later on that evening after dinner that you go into a sake and like chocolate tasting. You've already eaten. You've pre-gamed. You're like, dude, I'm good. This is just going to be for after dinner.
Each person could individually choose their main course, and then this is like a dessert.
Yeah.
A little sake.
Perfect.
Chocolate bonbons.
Yeah. And I haven't been to Colorado Sake Company, but I'm a big fan. I like sake.
Yeah, sake is good.
I like it cold. I like it hot. It's also like kind of dangerous. I don't know the alcohol percentage, but like every time I have some sake, you kind of have like a moment. Like, okay. That's coming on a little strong.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's fun. Okay, so that's tonight, lovers. 5 p.m., $28, Colorado Sake Company. This weekend, we have the CHSAA State Wrestling Championship, and I believe they're doing, I'm not sure if it's first through third place. I'm not exactly sure because I think it was also last Saturday as well. But in my opinion, high school wrestling state championship is probably one of my top 3 sporting events. I absolutely love it. I mean, even for people that don't know anything about wrestling, it's so cool. There's like 12 mats. You're at the ball arena. There's so much happening. Wrestling matches are really fast. Even I think probably it's 3 2-minute periods, something like that. And it's just like the best ticket in town. It's amazing. You see just a massive range of emotion from these kids going hard. You'll see awesome takedowns. You'll see like amazing defensive kids. It's a really cool event. So if people are looking for something to do on Saturday, I think it's like $10. Parking's free. Go down there and watch these kids in the state wrestling championship. And it's cool too because, a lot of the wrestling powerhouses are from towns outside of Denver, smaller wrestling communities, and they'll bring 100 people, so they're going nuts. You'll see have little sections of the stadium going crazy. So I'm definitely going to check that out this weekend. I've also got Jeff Jenkins on tap at Dazzle on Saturday night, and I love Jeff. He's an amazing player. What's really fun, I think, about being a fan of jazz is that you kind of gravitate to live jazz as part of the experience of being a fan. And what's cool about like jazz musicians is oftentimes they like the same artists you do, but they're like giving you like little hints. They're signaling to you like who their people are, and quoting little songs and putting things in there. And I think Jeff Jenkins is one of the absolute masters of that. You know, I'm a big Bill Evans fan. I listen to him all the time. I love Monk, and Jeff does too. And so he'll put like chord stylings like Bill Evans, and he'll do like cool little runs and like twinkles, for lack of a better word, like Monk. You know, they're kind of accidentals, but very Monk-esque. So he'll put those in like his lines and his runs, just to like nod to the audience who are fans of that, which I just think is great. Plus, he's a killer bop player. The dude can just move. He's amazing. Sometimes he plays organ. Sometimes he plays Fender Rhodes. Jeff Jenkins is the man. That's 10 p.m. at Dazzle, the El Chapultepec Lounge at Dazzle, 10 p.m. on Saturday. And that's what I got. Let's jump to our feature. Okay, now we're gonna do top 3 date spots in Denver, but I want to start with Troy. Troy, let's talk about outdoor first dates, if you got some recommendations, and also let us know what was the first date between you and your lady.
Yeah, absolutely. Outdoor first dates. In San Diego, the beach is always a great option, especially if it's a nice sunny day. Go hang out at the beach, maybe bring a little picnic basket, some packed sandwiches.
You know, actually, is outdoor activity good for a first date? It seems like it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
definitely.
think it is, especially depending on the person.
Yeah.
If you're an outdoorsy person, if you like hikes are always good. Um, Me personally, I'm more of kind of a dinner, appetizers, drinks first date type guy. Like I liked Tom. That's perfect. I think if you can get a nice little sushi spot, quiet, intimate, um, get some gyoza, edamame, just a couple sushi
Yeah.
rolls. That's for me. Outdoors, I think hikes got to be up there. I can't think of too many others, unless there's some sort of maybe activity that you both mutually enjoy, whether it's uh, I guess I would say surfing would be a
Surfing.
date over here. Yeah,
Nice.
that's sure that's a thing. Um, yeah, fishing, volleyball, I don't know, any of it, all of it.
I like the hike.
Or-
How strenuous are you going? Do you want to test the cardio of your potential mate a little bit? Be like, I don't know. We got to make sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Let's just
for
absolutely.
yeah,
sure.
a 10-mile hike.
10
Bring
mile hike. Oh,
10
see if they can
miles,
keep
get
up.
it in. Yeah. That's enough
See
time
if
to know if you're going to like the person or not either.
Yeah, exactly. If they
yeah.
can't, you're gonna get left in the dust, and then you know that they're not right for you.
Plus, walking really does stimulate conversation, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's like you can have like a depth of conversation that's a little, you can be a little more comfortable, I suppose, with the depth of conversation because you're not staring at each other. I mean, dinner on a first date seems really intimidating because you're like, the eye contact is there.
Yeah.
There's,
You're
innuendo
really
and
locked
stuff.
in.
Whereas like if you're walking, you're like, oh, those are nettles. You should watch out for those. You don't want them to sting your shins.
Mm.
She's like, oh, thanks. That's so considerate of you that you knew that nettles were over there. Like, that's just how I am. That's the kind of guy I am. What kind of gal are you? She's like, well,
I think
that's a pine cone. I'm like, that is a pine cone.
Good.
We're made for each other.
Good job.
I think the hike's a super solid option for outdoor activity, especially if it's like in a beautiful location and you can kind of drive out and maybe see some great landscape and beautiful hillside to travel to that location somewhere remote, maybe not too remote, because then they might get a little weirded out if it's the first date and you're driving them to some secluded remote location. Maybe you want to keep it semi
Keep it
semi
local.
public. Yeah, local. And then for first date with Belen, my girlfriend. Actually, you know what? Our first date was ramen. Our first like real date. It was ramen, and we did some nigori sake, and it went great. It was awesome. Couldn't
Nice.
a better
Bold
first.
move. It's not easy eating ramen and not being sloppy about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I actually didn't even suggest it. She was the one who suggested it. So, um, yeah, she kind of took me out on a first date, but
Nice.
Yeah. I'm
up really
I
well. Here we are, 7 years later, or actually, 7-year anniversaries on Saturday. No, wait, Sunday. Sorry, Sunday.
Congrats, man.
Dang.
Yeah.
That is a long time. See, the ramen builds foundations.
That's right.
I have ramen on my list, and I may be biased just because my ramen spot is my favorite restaurant.
Tom's a bit of a ramen connoisseur,
I love,
some might say.
I love ramen, and I love my spot, and I think my spot's a nice date spot too. So I put it on here, my food option. But yeah, Troy, did you have anything else to run by?
No, I think yeah. I think as far as outdoor, I think hike has got to be up there, and definitely one piece of advice I do have for first date: don't try to not pick somewhere crowded. That's going to be overly crowded because it's just going to dampen the experience. You know, the staff's going to be busy. They're going to hate you. You know, try to avoid weekend nights if you can get like a cool spot on a Thursday night or maybe a Tuesday night. You know, try to push it a little later, 7, 8 o'clock, so it's nice, intimate, not busy, not hectic, not a lot of people around, so you can really have like intimate one-on-one experience with your date.
Mm.
I
Hmm.
think those are all great things to check off.
Great recos. I agree.
Hell yeah. I'll jump in here. I'll start with food while we're on ramen. So I got a couple different categories of different types of first dates that you could do, or just any dates, whatever. If we're talking first dates, fine. I got food, got drinks, and I got activities as 3 different types of dates. Food first, I started with Tatsu Izakaya. I love ramen. That's a great place to go. You can be sure that what you're eating is going to be safe for the gastro situation.
Yeah.
You can also test out the spice tolerance of your partner for the evening. You can have them try some spicy tonkatsu ramen and see if they know the right techniques to eat it without losing it.
Checking heat tolerance and checking cultureness.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know how to slurp the tatsu, spicy tonkatsu, then you're not so cultured.
Red flag, bro.
If you don't know how to slurp that down without having a coughing fit, then you got some learning to do.
This ain't gonna work. It's just
Come on.
It's over.
Exactly. So maybe don't recommend that they order that for their first time. But if they're confident and they order it, that's a green flag for me. And they're like, oh, I know how to do it. I can handle this.
Is it a green light or a green flag?
Green flag. We're going with flags these days. That's what the kids are doing. Green flag, red flag, whatever.
Nice.
My first date with my current partner, McKenna, was at Redeemer Pizza, actually.
Nice.
I think Redeemer is a decent one. You know, it's a lighter pizza, but also it's very crust focused, so you're not too cheesy. But you can choose lots of options there. It's a nice place, small little spot, and quality pizza and food and drinks.
Nice.
So that's for food. There's 2 recs right there. Drinks. Now, I would say that this spot takes the cake for any first date or my whole list here. The front porch, which let me pull up where it is exactly. The front porch is a bar. It's a really nice atmosphere in there, but you go on a Wednesday because they do a flip night where this is like, no matter what happens, like your first date's going to be fun because you get a little bit of like gambling aspect. You get a little bit of excitement. You get your drinks in if you're down with doing drinks for your first date. But on flip night at the front porch, every time you order, they flip a coin and you call it. So you could switch off with your date or partner, whoever it is, who's going to call this round. And then if you call it right, then the drinks are free. So it's really exciting. And no matter what, as long as you hit one,
you're good.
You're good for the night. If you go on a hot streak, you guys are going to be having so much fun. Like, I'm pretty sure the first time McKenna and I went there, we called every single one right for like 8 rounds. So we didn't pay for anything at all.
50-50 chance you're getting hammered.
Yeah. 50-50 chance you're getting free drinks. 50-50 chance you're leaving sad and having just paid normal price for drinks. So really, to me, it's a 50% off date because you're going to be paying full price for drinks anyway, like wherever you go. This adds a little bit of excitement. It adds a little bit of, it's great atmosphere in there. And also, everyone who's going there on a Wednesday night knows what they're in for. Like, that's the thing.
There's an air of excitement.
Yeah. It's like, you know what's going on. You don't even have to ask the bartender to flip it. They're just like, all right, like, call it. And then they're flipping it every time you order. You could say that you want 100 tequila shots. And you're flipping
You're flipping for it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you could say, I want 100 tequila shots for the whole bar. And you're going to flip for it. And if you call it right, it's free.
Wow.
Is that an option? Like, that's an option that they have?
You can order whatever you want.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. I was just saying, like, if you said, I want 100 tequila shots, they're still going to flip for it. So, yeah, there's no limit. It's no limit flip night.
That sounds so fun.
But yeah, typically we'll do like, if you go there with a date, you switch off on who's picking the outcome for that round, and whoever messes it up's gotta pay for the round if you don't call it. So call right if you're going to flip night. Maybe slip the guy a double heads coin and a little tip, but make sure you tip those people, because if you're on a hot streak and you're not paying for any drinks, you still got to give them a little bit of a tip.
That's a good point. If you're getting the drinks for free, you're definitely tipping still.
Yeah, you still have to tip.
You still got to tip. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you hit one, maybe you're going to tip. And they understand too. It's like you're going to tip next time you miss.
Yeah.
So if you only got a card or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, that's a really fun first date, and it's always exciting, and just gives you a little bit of that gambling thrill.
Yeah.
Where you're getting your drinks, and there's a chance for you to save. Really, you're saving 50% of your money by doing that. So I think that's only on Wednesdays at the front porch. Let me pull up the location really quick, and then in the meantime, it's on 15th Street, so 1215 15th Street. It's right over by it's close to Larimer Square. It's right over there.
Cool. Yeah. It's like Lodo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Larimer Square area. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Definitely lower downtown for sure.
Yeah.
So that's fun. That's kind of a mixture of my next category and drinks. Activities is the next category. Now, I'm always one for a little bit of friendly competition on a first date. Not like I can't take any girls to like ping pong because
you destroy them.
Yeah,
out of principle. Tom's a little competitive. That's why I was laughing.
That's not fun. You can't bring a date to something that you're going to absolutely destroy them in. Like if you're a bowling shark and you're hitting, 10 strikes a game, don't bring a date bowling. Bring them somewhere where there's definitely a chance for them to beat you in something, and also bring them somewhere where if you're letting them beat you, it's not obvious. So 1UP is a safe option, which is basically an arcade bar. There's a couple locations in Denver. It's easy for you to miss a couple skee ball shots.
Yeah.
And allow the date to win.
Totally.
If
you're saying you're intentionally losing, you're sandbagging the skee ball date?
Yeah, if you're gonna sandbag, make it at a spot like 1UP, which is an arcade and has lots of different activities, So you can be like, oh, I'm actually really bad at Resident Evil
Yeah.
Arcade games. Oh, you beat me. Like, good job. Or maybe you're really bad at the small little basketball foul shooter.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm probably taking the cup in any of those.
Well,
Up.
and if you got if you got a partner who's just like really good at Mrs. Pac-Man,
Yeah, exactly.
dude, then you're like, oh, it's match made in heaven. Like, look at him dipping on those ghosts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like, super ball management in Mrs. Pac-Man. They know when they're going to get the most amount of ghosts. That's a good sign.
Kind of hanging out on the side of the screen so they can bust through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I brought a little debate for us to discuss, but a concert first date. Now, there's a lot of reasons why you maybe shouldn't do a concert first date. First, most obvious reason is that the person might not like the same genre of music as you, or they might not like the specific artist, or worst case scenario, which this might be a good reason on the other hand, is they can't handle
the atmosphere.
The atmosphere,
Yeah.
or anything like that, which would be a red flag if you really like that kind of thing.
That's
But
true.
I brought that for debate. To hear what you guys think.
I think first date concerts as a first date is a great first date. As long as there's communication prior, to you're into the same genre of music.
Mm-hmm.
You both like live events. There's chemistry there. I think that's, for me, that's got to be top 3. I think
Yeah.
that's a
So
green flag.
That was one that
It's
I
a
wanted
green
to put
flag
down.
for sure.
It's one that I wanted to put down for activities. Something that I like to do, but not every first date can handle like a big house show or lasers and bass in your face. Like, it's not for everyone. But
that's intense.
as long as you know that the person can handle whatever kind of thing you're going for, like maybe you need to tone it down a little bit. Maybe you got to go, something more chill.
You know what I like about a concert as a first date too, and there should probably put some parameters around it, because anything from 1 to 3 hours I feel like is probably good. Anything bigger than that is a big pill to swallow. If you're talking about a music festival and there's like 3 stages, I mean, maybe it could happen. But what I like about it, if we're talking about a 1 to 3 hour show, is that you get a chance to kind of bro down, really, because at a concert you're kind of like partners in crime. Mm-hmm. You got to keep an eye on each other. You know what I mean? It's like it's not overtly romantic, which is also, I think, good for if we're talking about a first date. You don't have to, there's not a lot of uncomfortable eye contact, but if you grab them by the hand and pull them through the crowd a little bit, that's exciting.
Yeah. Definitely.
But it depends. I mean, like a hip hop show, that might be a little bit intense.
Mm-hmm. It's a good way for you to tell if the person that you're dating is going to be able to handle the things that you like to do. So.
If they follow instructions, if you're at a hip hop show, it's like, are they throwing their hands in the air like they just don't care? I mean,
do you care?
Like, dude, you're not paying attention to what the MC said there? Like, this is the time when we throw our hands in the air.
Yeah, exactly. If they can't follow those types of simple instructions.
Concert is definitely sort through a lot of the similarities and differences that you're going to have with that person. You're going to find out a lot about that person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By going to a concert.
Nice. Totally. And really, I think Red Rocks is the gold standard for that. I mean, dates with first dates, or dates with your longtime partner, or dates with your buddies or whatever. Like, it's just chill to go to a Red Rock show with somebody, especially if it's if it's not like your favorite band, where you're kind of, you can be non-committal. You can be like, all right, let's bounce a little bit early.
Yeah.
So you have like this cool afternoon energy, and you watch the city kind of change into twilight. It's wonderful.
Yeah. A nice, early evening Red Rock, got the sunset and all that
It's the best,
stuff.
isn't it?
If it's even a remotely good band that you and your date could tolerate, it's worth.
Totally. I saw like I went to like a group of 8 folks to LCD sound system, and it was just like that. It's just like the perfect day. It's just like so chill up at Red Rocks, and they come on, they do their thing. It was great. It was great.
Absolutely.
Nice. You know what? That kind of dovetails into my recommendations as well. My first date with my lovely wife was at Dazzle, believe it or not. This is before I was there, but they had, I was living, what was it? I was like in South Broadway neighborhood, and I drove past the old Dazzle location when it was on 9th and Lincoln, and it said live jazz. I was like, wow, that's cool. I don't even know what that place was. And so I just kind of made a mental note and made plans with Heidi, and I was like, okay, well, I know there's this spot, hadn't been there, so we went in there, and sure enough, there's like a little quartet, tenor saxophone quartet, who I later met is Peter Summer, is a great player in Denver, and he was playing, and it was great. So like a concert for a first date when it's a club is absolutely perfect, because you got like the energy of like the live music that kind of makes it fun. You know, if it is like a genre you're familiar with, I got to flex some of my jazz knowledge a little bit,
Wow.
which I don't think actually helped.
Mansplained some jazz.
Yeah, totally. Be like, oh, that's Pharoah Sanders' Themby. I know that song. She's not impressed. It turns out by jazz information, but it was cool. And jazz is like also like it's a very safe genre. So like, you know, a hip hop concert for a first date, you know, there's going to be a couple of fights. You know what I mean? There's a certain energy in the atmosphere that's it's not like that with jazz. It's not like that with your like folk music. You can find good concerts that are just like very relaxing, and it gives you something. Plus, when it's a club, you know, they're taking a set break every 60 to 90 minutes, so at that point you can just bounce. So, you know, I think concerts are a great idea. Clubs are a great idea. Dazzle was my first date with my lovely wife. Also, shout out, I proposed on a Valentine's Day
Nice.
19 years ago. So shout out to Valentine's Day. But now it does definitely create some like, man, I got to do something dope for Valentine's Day. And I've got some ideas. So my picks for first dates is basically going to be a podcast, greatest hits. I'm going ESP. I love that place. You know, it's got kind of a masculine energy. It's very intimate and quiet. It's got great music and really good cocktails. Plus, when you look, I mean, it being a hi-fi bar makes it a great experience for conversation because everything sounds crisp, you know? Very cool. I'm going Nocturne because that, again, is a great jazz club in Denver. Same thing, 60-minute shows. You get in, you see a great band. It has like the high-backed booths, so you kind of like slink in there and you kind of have some privacy even though there's an audience. It's awesome. Staff is amazing. Food's great. Drinks are great. Nocturne would be a great spot. And the other one, believe it or not, Samana Float Center. Just want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Samana Float Center, for being a great place for a date.
That could be cool because, like, you know, go for a little something first, like a little chat beforehand. Then it's like, we're going to adjourn.
Yeah.
Go into our respective float tanks, and then you can talk about your experience after.
Totally. Yeah. You know, it's kind of interesting and maybe counterintuitive to do something separately, but doing something separately together. You know, then when you get out, you can go over to like Denver Market.
Right next to that too is like there's a beer place where it's like fill your own beer. It's like a whole beer wall.
Yeah.
In the same thing as Samana. I forget what it's called, but
yeah,
that would be great as like a post game.
Totally. There's the pool spot. You play some pool. You know, and I think really also, if I'm thinking about what I love for dates, my favorite thing to do is just kind of to have not much of a plan, but like walk around. This kind of ties into the hike too, although, you know, an urban hike, you know, so if you're like, okay, let's take a lap around Sloan's Lake and then wind up somewhere for drinks and dinner.
Yeah.
Let's take a lap around Wash Park. Let's go down to Lohi. Let's go down to Rhino. You know, that's a really fun way. And that's usually where I have the most fun is because, yeah, you have kind of a beginning and a middle, and then, you know, you end up with dinner and it's good. So
absolutely. Yeah. It gives a lot of opportunity to stumble upon cool things. Also a lot of opportunity to bail.
Exactly.
If you need to.
Yeah, that's true. See, spontaneous dates are always seem to be the best when it's kind of just the flow of the date, and you just kind of wander in, like you said, wander into a place that you weren't necessarily expecting to go to.
Yeah, wander into a little thrift shop, trying on some cool clothes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, for shout out to my people with kids. I mean, my kids are in high school. So now it's like, if there's a commercial break of like a show we're all watching and it's just she and I together, it's like the best date I've been in years. No privacy. But when we were in Hawaii, we sent the kids to go do whatever, and that's what we did. We just took a wander. We ended up in like a ramen spot underneath a highway overpass. It's the most random spot ever, but it was great. It was delicious. So fun. Walk around, get lost. It's romantic.
Nice. Really quick, on the ESP Hi-Fi, this week I'm going to start that vinyl radio show, and I will be streaming in high fidelity. So from my side going in will be hi-fi. As long as you as the listener on your side going out can facilitate hi-fi, you can get a full hi-fi stream experience if you want to tune in on Thursday. I think I'm going to be starting around 8 p.m.
Talk about the show. What are you doing?
Oh yeah, so I'm going to highlight some like cool, unique vinyls. I think this first show's kind of just going to be a little tester for me. I'll just play some of my favorite ones that I have of just some of my favorite artists, but the goal of the show is going to be to basically be like a chill, like live video radio show where I'm going to show the vinyls that are being played. It's going to have some nice, cool HD aesthetic of the vinyl spinning around. You're going to see that. You're going to see the album artwork. I'll highlight the names of the albums and the tracks, and also I think as we're going through each one, I'll look up anything cool that I could find about it and have a little chat about that as I'm flipping the records or whatever.
Dude, amazing.
Then, I'm even going to look up like if people have sampled the specific album or anything and go over that, and we'll listen in on what has been sampled and where the samples have come from and things like that. So that's going to be the goal of my visual vinyl radio show.
What's the Twitch handle?
Oh yeah, I'll put it in the description. But I'm Todo on Twitch, so I think it's TODO_O.
Are you gonna put them on YouTube too?
I'm gonna start on Twitch, and then maybe I'll just do a little multi-stream thing on YouTube and Twitch. But I'll throw it in the description, my Twitch. But Thursday, I'm gonna do the first one. Might be working out some kinks still, but it will definitely be hi-fi from my end because I got everything all set up to bring it in to digital, full quality, and then on the other end, if you can receive in good quality, you'll be able to. It'll sound like you're just playing the vinyl at your own place. So
cool, man.
I'm excited for that. I want to give it a try.
Thursday's the first one.
Yes, I'm gonna. I'll get started on Thursday. Nice.
Tuning in.
Yeah, Troy, you'll be a good person to have listening in because you'll be able to let me know if there's any audio issues. So yeah, I'm gonna test everything out tonight and tomorrow and try to get that going. But yeah, is that all we got? We're starting to get a little bit of bad internet reception here.
Yeah, let's leave it there. Nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate you guys listening to the show. This is What's Good Denver. You can find us at kitcaster.com/Denver. If you've got an idea for a guest, if you've got an interesting product, you got an interesting story, do you have a date night that you'd like to recommend? Hit us up there, kitcaster.com/Denver. You can find the links to the podcast on Apple, on Spotify, on YouTube. We're streaming on YouTube 10:15 on Tuesday mornings, and that's a wrap. I hope you guys all have a wonderful Valentine's Day, and thanks Troy, thanks Tom.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Bye everybody.
Thanks everyone. See ya.